FCOS did run a few surveys, and one of them was, the latest one was the WASH survey that we conducted across 4 divisions, and thankfully we've managed to bring that to the committee's attention, but some of the findings are quite concerning. And we're using that to try and perhaps influence the way we will tackle water and wash facilities or water, wash infrastructure. But I think what's key from there is that despite how we've progressed as a nation, there are some communities that don't have piped reticulated water. Our issues around waste management is pretty concerning. Our survey found that there is, those high risks of waterborne diseases in communities, informal settlements. And these are not communities that are, not only the ones that are far, these are communities like Ngawia and communities like just outside Lami. And these are issues that could have been addressed in the last 16 years, and they were never addressed. We, as an organization, we've had to fight to bring these issues to mainstream discourse.
Were you raising these issues over the last 16 years with the previous government?
We did. In fact, this WASH survey we did with the Ministry of Health and UNICEF last year, and somehow they were very concerned, Ministry of Health, that we wouldn't release this data because it was quite concerning. So we kept it there. There was, opportunities for me to share it at different forums, but I've never really, released it because Ministry of Health had asked, that we be careful, we be sensitive about the data that it presents.
Why? If it affects the people of the country,
that's
why
right.
not say?
That's right. And I think you should ask the former Attorney General that.
Did he stop that?
Well, I think the mood that was in government and the environment that many of these government agencies operated in was very closed. So we had to be creative about how we brought this data to reality, to be discussed in open forums. And so we're finding the opportunities here through, not only through the Physical Review Committee, but through the summit and other forums that the coalition government has opened up. But we did try and work in that space, the public finance management space, budgets, advocacy, disaster spaces. We were, careful too, so that we wouldn't harm the people that we worked with at the subnational level, our, civil servants who had to work and support community.
In our series of discussions, we will also be inviting the Fiji First and former Attorney General, because he played a big part in the former government. And we did invite him for straight talk leading up to the elections for the special straight talk on the economy, which also featured Richard as part of the panel. He did not accept the invitation, no comments were sent back. We will try again for one day for him to be sitting here as well, most probably answering questions with Richard and the Minister for Finance and others.
Yeah, and Vijay, just before, I just want to say that very quickly. We've had 8 weeks, and we've had 8 weeks with presentations from various government departments, statutory authorities. And that's come through very clearly now. People are freer to talk to us. They're free to talk about their problems. They're free to criticize what's been happening and say, this is a challenge. So we're trying to bring these things out. Because how are we going to solve our problems?
Was it made to look like everything is hunky-dory?
You got that impression, didn't you? Just simple things like CWM Hospital. You talk about all of the things that are happening now, and it was so difficult to bring out such simple information. I talked to Judy Compain, who's doing a lot of work, with IWA about just to fix small things in that hospital. She told me something like, I think the other day, there was an $800 fix that finally got water into a bathroom in the maternity unit that hadn't been functioning for 3 years. Nobody knows, nobody is allowed to talk about it, and yet once you get the public in, this stuff is easy to do. Now that's what we want to do for the whole country. We need everybody to step up, contribute their skills, and just make stuff happen. And we can do that.